Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for giving your time and support for such a very important and impactful film. I have to start off even before this. What was your driving force to get this out? Help the world kind of understand why 1521 is important.
Well, I'll just start with the driving force. And honestly, is actually stems from characters that we have right here, Hector and myself. Our personalities come because our culture was a unique culture. We're a culture of eating and laughing and family and brotherhood and getting together. And I always was interested on like growing up in two different families. I had an all white family and I had an all Filipino family, and they did stuff different. You took off your shoes at the Filipino house. You ate a lot, and if you didn't eat, you upset one of the aunties. And when you give food, it's like a sign of love. And my white side, they don't like to. It wasn't food wasn't in like thought of like that the same way. So it's like you didn't take off your shoes. You didn't do certain things. Like in my Filipino side, when an auntie came in from town, you gave up your room for the auntie to live there, so you can sleep on the couch, and you did things like this different, and it was all based on culture. So this film, 1521, is the history of the Spanish culture and the Visayan culture, which is actually the ancient Philippine culture. So before the Philippines was conquered by Spain, by King Philip, that named the Philippines, it was ancient Visaya. And we were 500 years ago. We were a rich nation, and we were tied in trade routes with Malacca, which was ancient Malaysia. We did a lot of spice trades, and we had a lot of gold. We had a lot of money. And Spain coming in to conquer, they tried the first time, and this movie is about that, where I play Lapu Lapu, and he plays Enrique, who is Magellan's translator. And there's a beautiful love story that goes on between Enrique's character and one of the beautiful princesses of our island. And then the point I was trying to say is that the battle happened and we won the first time. But the second time, Spain used their greatest tactic was to divide and conquer. So what they did is they turned people against each other within their own island. So when they came back the second time with more ships, King Humabon of Cebu actually poisoned all the people that helped Lapu-Lapu the first time, and that's how the Spain was able to conquer the second time around. And they conquered for over 300 years until like next year we celebrate our 125th anniversary in the Philippines for our independence, but from Spain. And like I said, 300 years of being conquered based off of divide and conquer, and we're seeing that in our nation today, where government officials and people are trying to divide us people in today's society, and so they can conquer on their own agendas. And I see that. So this film is relevant on a political level, just what's going on within our own families, within our own homes, within our own system. And it's been going on for generations and generations.
Indeed, that's very important, and I definitely get that. Hector, for you, I want to ask, what was the pinnacle moment that said, yes, I have to be part of this project?
The moment I knew was when the moment that Michael Copan had called me. Michael Copan had called me the same day that I was making an honest deal with myself, because I am as of 2 months I've been a father for the first time, and so that's the greatest role of my life so far. And so I was making the decision with my girlfriend that night that if I was going to go training to be a police officer of Florida, a fish and wildlife officer. I had already made my ride along. I had already made my decision that I was going to go and I was going to work as a law enforcement officer. And so that day, I had the meeting with my girlfriend to tell her, this is what I'm going to do. If I retire from acting today, babe, know that I'm good with it, and this is what I'm going to, because I have to fully commit to this. If I'm going to go and I'm going to protect and serve the borders of Florida, I'm going to have to commit 100%, even over family. I'll be gone for 6 months out of the year. That same night, Michael Copan called me and said, "Hey, you want to be a part of the biggest movie, of the next generation? You want to be a part of something really special, something that he's been a part of. He's the like listening to him talk about it. He's the lifeblood of this project, and it's been such an honor, such a pleasure to be to serve under him as an actor, as one of the co-leads, and to just be a part of the Filipino history and how strong they are as a culture, as a workforce. They sacrifice day in and day out, but they're always smiling and they're always proud of where they come from. So it's been such a pleasure. Every day was a pinnacle moment. Every day was a very beautiful experience. A it was a wild. It was some days it was a struggle because it's when you're putting so much emotion into a project, and somebody like Michael wears all the hats. You know, he just can do it, and he was a great leader. You know, and it's tough when you're so committed to a project, but you commit as a director, and then you're playing one of the leads as well in the movie. You know, it's just and such a powerful character like Lapu Lapu, who defeated Spain in the beginning. You know, with very few soldiers of his own. You know, and it's a great, beautiful story, a love story as well. And I'm just excited for the world to see another side of my skill as an actor, to see Michael Copan as a director, you know, as a producer. He made this movie happen. You know, I've just been so lucky and blessed to have been a part of this. I'm completely humbled, and I can't wait to share it with the world. Hopefully next year, come the Filipino Independence Day.
That's great. That's great. Now, if you could tell me about the journey going from Power Rangers to something that has this level of gravitas, something that why it's something that's so important. Talk to me about that change going from there to here.
Yeah, I'll just say, like, I've been wanting to do a project regarding the Power Rangers for years, and it's something I'll probably eventually do. But this has been a passion project of mine since 2007 or 8. I've heard about Lapu Lapu for the first time. And some things happened to where I was able to probably make it this year, and it actually did happen. And I was like, wow. So I just went full force into this. And going from a Power Ranger to this, I think the most exciting thing that calling Hector and said, hey, bro, we're two Power Rangers about to do a project that's not Power Ranger related.
Yes.
How cool is that? Like, come Morphicon, come all these Power Ranger, events we do. We're going to talk about a project that we did that's historic, that has nothing to do with Power Rangers, but Power Rangers is the reason why we can do it.
Exactly.
So,
Amen. Amen.
saying last night when I got,
Thank you everybody for joining.
no, thank you guys for joining.
Yeah, thank you for
Thank you
joining,
very
everybody.
much.
Appreciate
Come on.
it. Anybody that just walked in, thank you.
Come on in. Hey, come on in and listen to Hector and I got some stuff we're talking about. Come on in.
Michael Copan can sing too. I'll dance.
Hey, Michael
Yes.
Copan and Hector David's in here. Come on in.
What's going on? What's going on?
Come on, bring it in. Bring it in.
Before
Bring
you
it
spend
in.
your money, come in here for free.
Come on in.
All right.
They're coming.
So that's also something. Once again, we're talking about being able to dance, being able to sing, etc., etc. You guys have like the gambit kind of full of what you can do. Was there any idea or choice to kind of highlight those talents within the film at all?
Oh yeah, I made sure and highlighted so much of Hector's ability to flip, and so his character is so humble, and I don't want to give too much of the movie away, but his character is so powerful. I wrote him as an archetype of the Messiah himself, Jesus. So
Nice.
so there's a Christian undertone like Hacksaw Ridge in this, but it's not a Christian movie. So it's actually touches based on all spirituality. So love is the most driving force that connects us all, and that's what the film's driving force that preaches is love. Love is the one connection that connects us all, no matter what religion we believe or what our political view is. Love is the one connector that connects and heals us all, no matter what problems we're going through, what pain we're going through. That ability to love is the one thing that can actually heal everything, and that was the basis of this movie. And his character actually. He doesn't want to fight us, our people. He grows to love our people. If you've seen the movie Avatar, it's very similar and parallel to how the main character fell in love with the island and the people of the Avatar movie. It's very similar to that, where he didn't want to fight us Mactan warriors. But we showcase all his flipping skills and ability to dodge and move, he's dodging bullets and dodging swords and kicking guns out of people's hands, and it's so cool watching Hector do his thing still to this day. I first saw him do it at a Comic-Con. He's flipping over kids, and we would go to anti-bullying rallies, and he'd be doing that too. So I knew for a fact that I gotta make sure and put this in the movie. And we did. We showcased a lot of his abilities in the film. And he is the lead with the main character. You guys don't know her today, but her name's Bea Alonzo. So she's the biggest Filipino star in the Philippines. If you follow her today, she's got like 12 million followers on Instagram. But in the Philippines, she's like the biggest star there, almost like a Julia Roberts, a Scarlett Johansson of the Philippines. And I didn't even know who she was until I did this film. But he acts right alongside her as the lead actor, because it is a love story first, in the Battle of Mactan with Magellan and Lapu-Lapu. And just the people that are just joining, the guy we got to play Magellan is Danny Trejo. You guys know Danny Trejo? Hey,
Yeah,
Machete. So he in the real life story, Magellan had a translator named Enrique. Enrique was a slave that he took from Malacca. Malacca, of course, was ancient Malaysia, so it was a really rich nation with spices, and he took Enrique to be his translator, because Enrique could speak all these different languages. So that connection of the Messiah archetype, I had his character. You already seen the movie Book of Eli with Denzel? So you remember how he memorized the Bible, right? So I had his character, in a sense, memorize the word. So he was pushing Catholicism for Spain, but he actually read the Bible. So, but he was seeing correlations with Jesus in the Bible, and then these Mactan people who have never read the Bible, but they're living the life of Jesus, healing people, healing the sick, living with love, and turning the cheek against people coming against them with anger. So he's like, why are you guys living more of this word than my people that are trying to push this God and conquer for gold and prosperity? Because during that time, before the Protestant movement, you used to be able to buy your way into heaven through the Roman Catholic Church, right? So people were like, yeah, you want to go to heaven? That's like $100,000, baby. So that was what was going on during the time. And so that's why his character was such a pinnacle character in the movie.
Hector, if you could talk to us about that whole kind of departure from what people know you as and to what you are doing in this film. Tell us a little bit about the journey for you personally.
Yeah, I think I've been really blessed to make a lot of my own choices in my work. In the few times I've been led astray and maybe have done, but I've always been able to do the projects that I want at the end of the day, and that have come to me. And this is a project that not only I didn't have to. It was when Michael Copon called me and said, "You have to play this. This role is written for you. You have to play this role." And I hadn't had that experience with a director before, and the fact that it was coming from somebody that's like a brother to me, and I hadn't spoken to him in like a year or so. It's just with COVID and everything, so it was just such a nice call to receive, and it's such a nice experience right before I even got out there and started filming. So of course I had to say yes. If you believe in the signs and you look at how your life can come full circle. I believe also that I was made for this character, and this character was made for me, and so that's. And then, like I said before, working with a director like Michael, who takes chances and risks like an artist, and is just such a actor's director. He's for the actors, and he's for his crew, and he's diehard for his crew, and he's a leader. And so when you have that type of connection, Yeah, when you got that type of connection, it's just the possibilities are endless especially in an experience of making a movie. Can I not tell you that our film crew are some of the hardest working people I've ever seen in my entire life, and most of them are from Filipino, and a good majority of them are, if not all of them, and some of the most die-hard, blood, sweat, and tears, smiling throughout the whole experience. Type of people, and they just really set the tone for filmmaking for me, for my future, for my career, from what I expect on a film set, and just a level of trust, when you're out there in very hot weather, committing, it was this very, very hot. You know,
We had fans. Hector brought fans for as a gift for everyone. But we had those neck fans. We had like ice pack things on their neck. We're in shorts and everything, and shorts and tank tops, and basically, actually, I had my shirt off half the time, and I'm
Same.
still sweating, like just like dripping sweat the entire time. That's how hot it was.
Yeah, it was very, 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 very hot. But it made for a great quality movie experience. I mean, it was really the level of commitment came from the things that we had to endure and go through. Just you know, at night. Can I tell them about the bullfrogs, please, bro? Can I please tell them about the bullfrogs? Imagine you're trying to do the best movie of all time, right? And you're in the middle of the
Yeah.
Philippines on an island, and all you hear is quiet on set.
Your roll camera and action.
How can you prepare? How can you prepare for bullfrogs? Are you kidding me?
We're gonna have
Suggestions? Anyone? No.
But I had the greatest time making 1521 with one of my best friends. He trusted me. He gave me one of the most iconic roles that I have ever and probably will play. Enrique, working alongside of Bea Alonzo, Danny Trejo, Kostas Mandalore, and your very own. Give it up for Michael Copon. Very proud of you, buddy. Very proud of you. Thank you for taking me on this journey with you.
Of course, baby.
And
I'm
I
proud
can't
of
wait for the world to see it. Power Ranger fans are the best in the world.
Yeah.
We do have a few more moments left. Does anyone have any questions? No questions concerning everything, guys.
So we plan on bringing it out June next year, which is the 125th anniversary of our independence in the Philippines. So we're planning on bringing it out then. It's going to be a very aggressive post-production situation. I'm gonna try to bury through. But yeah, one last thing about the film. Yeah, make sure you guys just. I want really people to like to push it out on a different level. I know it's not a Power Ranger related, but the reason why we did this panel is to show this two Power Ranger hearts that came from this journey. And if you guys saw my panel last night with Time Force, I did get emotional when Iris came on stage because they did give me my start, and I thought about them when I was directing. When I had 250 people, I'm directing on set, and I'm controlling this entire set because Power Rangers gave me my start. So we're here because you guys have watched us, you've supported us, and now I'm a director and a father. We're both fathers, and now I'm a director. He's got literally, this is one of the most iconic roles, and this is going to open up so many doors for him outside of Power Rangers. Where we're hoping to be doing movies that are true life stories about the history of Spanish. Like I was telling him, he's got some great stories too of where he's from in the Dominican Republic, like people of the Philippines. There's so much history that was not told correctly. Most people don't know Magellan died in the Philippines, much less, was conquered by a Filipino or a Visayan of that time. So please push this movie out with the passion that we have towards it, that we need to get history out and told correctly, because I think that we're told a certain thing here in America, but it's not always correct. And that's what the purpose of this film is, to kind of actually tell the truth of actually our cultures. So everyone here that is on the same level of that, please support me on that journey, and I'll continue to bring stories to life because of you guys. And I love you guys so much.
And that's also something that's very interesting. I just want to be able to bring that up, being able to speak truth to power in that way, because there's so much of a watering down of the history, because it's who essentially wins the war or is known for winning the war. It's their story, history. And for you to be able to speak the truth of what it actually is, I understand that has to be important for you. And tell us a little bit about just the challenges, being able to do that, knowing where your line is of
Challenges,
how much you can tell.
Yeah, challenges. So when I saw the movie Braveheart, I watched that movie. Like, I've heard a lot of you guys watch our series every year. I watch Braveheart every year. When I watch that movie, when he screams freedom, I cry every time. And judge me if you want, but it's the movie that gets me ready to conquer all my goals and my dreams in life. I love Mel Gibson directed, he acted and starred and produced that movie. This is my Braveheart. Lapu Lapu was our William Wallace. Like, he created freedom for my people. And this is my William Wallace story. So it means so much to me. I'm crying almost every take watching my actors do that. He'll tell you I cried so many times during takes, even if it wasn't an emotional scene, just because watching the words come to life is something that was so passionately connected to me. And I heard Spielberg cried on Schindler's List every take as well because it was his passion project. So this was that for me, and it's my Braveheart movie, and it's like the challenges that come through this. I knew there was gonna be challenges. Just like any great movie, like I've heard, like Passion of the Christ had 2 people get struck by lightning, and they had like 60 crazy things happen where people were getting accidents and this and that. That's us. Look, he got in a motorcycle accident. I got in a motorcycle accident. We caught food poisoning, parasites there. People were I almost broke my knee. I slipped down. Like people were getting hurt every day. It seemed that it was like, oh my gosh, we're like the handicap rangers over here. I mean, it was crazy. The challenge is when anyone, I'll tell you this, guys. Anytime I've done something great in the world, there's always been a negative force. Call it what you want, but a negative force has always tried to stop me from doing that great thing. However, the greatness of what I was trying to achieve, the amount of negative was trying to stop it. It's the same thing. There's a thin line between love and hate. So I always tell people, when you hear people get a divorce and they're so proud that they're free and they hate their ex-wife, it's because they fully loved them to that extreme at one point. They don't want to admit it, but they love that person, and they're too prideful to admit that they actually miss that person, right? So the same amount of love and hate exists. If you don't hate someone that much, you didn't love them that much. If you can easily lose someone in your life, you didn't really love them. So at the same time, however great this project is and will be, and I know it will be because I went through the most strenuous pain and sacrifice to make this project happen this year with so many different things. My wife and I had the amoeba parasite. We're 5 days in the hospital, almost on our deathbed. I mean, this is the first time I haven't even talked to my mom in 30 days because I was that busy. Not even a text because I was just so busy with everything. Like all these people were getting sick, hurt, this and that. So just tell you guys in life, challenges will come, but it will always match the greatness that you're trying to achieve. And if you can recognize that, then you can push through any negative force that's trying to stop you from your dreams, from your goals, because you'll know it's actually outside of your control. So just push past that thing that's trying to stop you, and I promise you, you will get your goals to happen, and you'll look back later and you'll smile, and you're going to be very appreciative of what you did for yourself and for the people. So I do encourage all of you guys, and I love you guys so much.
Give it up, Michael. Yeah, amazing.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. Hopefully you learned a little bit something, and hopefully you definitely will make sure you show up. So 1521 will be coming out. It's a very important film, and it's something that I think everyone here should watch.
Thank you again, everybody. Have a great one.